Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Mental Odyssey podcast. I am Kiera, and I have an amazing co host with me today. I'm going to let her do a brief introduction herself. We have some great topics and questions today. We're digging deep, but when you're ready.
Yes, I'm Elizabeth. I'm 19 years old. I've struggled a lot through mental health myself, and I'm really excited about this. Just a little nervous
Yes,
because it's something deep.
it's very deep for both of us because these are questions that are like you're realizing where the problem stimulated and started from. So we're getting really deep, and there are some questions that myself and her may not answer because they are pretty deep. So just give us grace on that. And I told her this as well. I wanted this to be a raw and transparent post because just like how we have our own things that we've been through, and even though it may not be the same or it may be similar in some ways, we want people to understand that no matter what you went through at the end of the day, that you're going to be okay. Like, it doesn't feel like you're going to be okay. It doesn't feel like it's going to get better, but you're still alive. You're still breathing. God woke you up to another day, and that's a blessing. The main thing about this podcast, it's a little heavy. Like we said, it's sensitive, but we're talking about depression, anxiety, ways to build a better support system, ways to deal with your depression, and building good habits to do so. I have the first question, and I can answer it first if it makes you more comfortable, and then do you want to go after me?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna be looking off to the side just so they know when they're watching the video. The first question says, "What parts of my life currently feel heavy or meaningless?" And the parts of my life that feel heavy or meaningless was definitely from my younger days, my childhood and middle school to high school time frame. I would say that feels kind of heavy because, as me and her have spoken, before, I've been bullied a lot. And the long story short version is being bullied and somebody constantly talking down on your appearance and how you are as a person starts to make you feel like you're not good enough. It makes you feel like you don't fit in. It starts to make you feel like you're the odd man out. I think everybody kind of knows the story behind the ugly duckling. That's what I felt like for the longest period of time. There was a period when I was in elementary school. I don't really tell anybody this story. I think only I know this story and my little brother knows this story. But when I was younger, I was in, I think, the third or fourth grade, and I was running outside to go play with recess, and there were these two girls. They had pigtails, they had these super cute dresses on, and they were playing hopscotch. And I wanted to play along too, and they told me that they would not play with anybody whose skin was dirty. So I was like really confused as a kid because I didn't understand what they meant. So I, as a kid, thought that, oh, maybe I had some dirt on me from when I was playing in the flowers or I was playing in the mulch or, something like that. But no, they meant my skin because after that, they kind of pushed me down, all that stuff. Teacher got involved, went inside. It was what it was. But I ended up getting on the bus that day going home, and I was just scrubbing my hands, scrubbing my skin super, super hard because I was like, I'm trying to get the dirt off. I'm trying to get the dirt off. It's about to make me cry, and I got makeup on. But anywho, I was so young that I did not realize just how much of an impact that put on me because I didn't understand fully what those girls were trying to say until it was explained to me. When I got bullied and that happened, I had went to my grandparents' house that weekend and I had told my grandpa. And one of the sweetest things that changed my perspective when I was getting bullied is he had a poem that was actually baking ingredients to make a cake. But to make the cake, it was a poem in the instance of each ingredient was telling me how beautiful I was, how every piece of me was beautiful. So for chocolate chips, it meant brown eyes, two chocolate chips, and it just started to kind of open my eyes more because he was telling me that even though you're different and other people may not see that you're different, he said you can't quite blame, the kids that are doing it because it's how they're being raised. And that kind of like how we talked as well is I forgive the kids that bullied me because, like I said, they had to have been going through something at home because every kid, when they're born, they're so innocent and they're so polite and they're so kind that you have to engrave and put in a child's mindset to not like a certain person, to not like a certain thing, to not accept a certain thing. Like that's what parents have to engrave into their head for them to even be that way. Sometimes it's social media. Sometimes it's being on the internet that can do that too. So the question was, what parts of my life currently feel heavy or meaningless and why?
Well, I mean, if we want to go like back in the past for me, again, middle school definitely I felt very like meaningless and a lot of family, said a lot of nasty things to me. And I was so young and I did not deserve any of that. Like
You didn't.
no young child deserves to get like called those things or said that they're gonna be those things. Um, and then I also went through a really tough time getting raped during that time, and it was by a family member, and I thought I couldn't say anything. And not very many people know about it still, and it's still hard for me to talk about it to this day. But
I get that. That's never going to be something easy to talk about.
yeah, and so like during that time, it was really hard, and I just like to this day, like trauma, I have to grow through it and be stronger, but it's hard for
It's
sure.
definitely hard because you can always forgive, but you can never forget.
Exactly.
If you choose to forgive, on that, I mean, personally, I would never forgive them, but that's something hard. And honestly, in my opinion, recording aside and just us being two genuine people, you are very strong for actually just picking up on that, by the way. Because there are so many people who have gone through something like that. I have gone through something like that, not with a family member, but I have gone through something like that. And it's very hard to talk about because one of the things that my mom used to tell me a lot when I was a kid that actually stuck with me and I will always remember, and even when I have a daughter, I'll probably tell her the same thing is your virginity is very precious. And I know it's kind of, I'm not going to stay on the topic too much because I know it's sensitive for you, like it is for me.
No, you're okay.
But your virginity is very special to you because as a woman, we carry the babies, we bring life into the world. We are the carriers of life, period, point blank. No matter how anybody on the internet sees fit, that's the truth. Okay.
For sure.
And who you give your body to in that moment is so important. And it didn't engrave fear in my head necessarily, but I was so picky with who I wanted to give it away to. And at homecoming, my freshman year of high school, I was dating this guy, and he was definitely not the cutest. But that's not the point. I had a car. I drove us to homecoming, and as we were in the parking lot, he started touching on me and everything like that. And I was just like, no, I'm not trying to do that. I thought we were just going to go inside and have a good time and go dance. And he got so mad when I pushed him off me from kissing on me and all that extra stuff that doesn't need to be mentioned. I pushed him off me. He got out the car, and you know how you have those bracelets with the flower on it? He ripped mine off and he went inside the school and he told me that he wouldn't even want to dance with me if I was the last option on the earth. And as a kid, obviously, I'd be like, that's cringy. But now, I mean, at the time, I was like, damn, that's really messed up. And he didn't dance with me the entire night. I ended up meeting up with some of my friends and had a really, really great night. But it goes to show that, like, literally who you give it to is so important. And when you can't decide who you give it to because of the situation and you have no say so, that breaks you, literally breaks you. Because even in that incident, that it wasn't taken from me at that time, it was a period of it could have been and escalated more to something past that. Because just like how he got mad and ripped off, I cannot think of the name of it, that flower on my wrist, he could have punched me, he could have pushed me. Who knows what the motive could have been? You know, it could have got worse. And after that, a couple months after that, I eventually was sexually assaulted because I was at a friend's house. I went to the bathroom, and it was one of those bathrooms where you have the sink in one part and there's a door, and the toilet and the shower's on the other side. So it's kind of separated that way. Now, her mom wasn't home, and she was not really supposed to have multiple boys over. She really wasn't supposed to have a boyfriend over at all because her mom went out that night. And I was irritated because it was me there, I had another friend there, and the girl who invited the boys over. I was tired. I was sleeping on the couch. I needed to use the bathroom. Got up to use the bathroom. Guy ended up following me and locked the door behind me. One thing led to another. Things happened. I cried. I ended up going home early the next day. And I never spoke to that friend ever again because she told me that she did not want me to tell her mom or an adult because she would get in trouble. And that broke my heart more than anything because you're worried about getting in trouble, but I literally just lost the one thing that I had to myself at the age of 16
Yeah.
where I could not choose who I gave it to because it was taken from me. And I wasn't strong enough to get him off me because I was way smaller than I was now because I was playing sports. I was playing volleyball. Like I had no real like upper body muscle to like push a guy off me, you know what I mean? And guys are strong, so just to be honest, you gotta have some force to get a guy off you. Period, point blank.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard. It's hard. But I just wanted to say, long story short, you're very strong for bringing that up because my own mother doesn't even know that story. Like
Thank you.
because it's not
Speaking
something that you can just talk about. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh yeah, conversation. It's nothing like that. It'll never
No,
be
yeah,
anything
and
like that.
speaking of like my own mother not knowing, my family made me feel so uncomfortable to talk to my mom about anything. So I felt like I couldn't talk to her. And so when I got with my ex, when I was 15,
Mhm.
I moved in with him pretty much. And one of his older friends that was 21, I think, also. And I told him, and he still made me hang out with him.
That's horrible. Oh my
So
god.
and he also, so it was like, and I couldn't tell my mom about it because I didn't feel comfortable, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
like,
I get it. And
it
moms are
was
supposed to be the ones
really,
that you're comfortable with and being able to talk to. So to have that fear that you can't even tell your own mom, it's a different type of sinking feeling. It's like your whole chest just drops
oh,
to your stomach, literally.
I'm literally about to cry.
I'm sorry, don't cry, because I swear I'm about to cry too. But oh my god. Okay, how about we change the
Anyway,
subject? Yes, we'll change the
yes,
subject. I just wanted you to know that you're very strong for mentioning that for
thank you.
like
And
for
you're
all
very
this stuff.
strong too.
Thank
Like,
you. Like,
you've
and the
been through
fact
a
that
lot.
you're still here, you have your own apartment, you're drinking your morning coffee this morning. Like, you came a long way. Came a long way, and I really hope you know that.
Thank you.
Let me find a question that's not so real, because that took a toll on me actually.
Calm
Fuck.
down.
Right. How about? Mm, fuck, these are all hard. Because now that one really. Ooh, okay. I'm crying. Let me stop. Fuck. Okay. Anywho, when do I feel most disconnected from myself or others? This one's kind of short, sweet, and simple for me. I started feeling disconnected and kind of off from other people is when I started to learn that, like, as a kid, people would always tell me that I talk too much or I over explain things. So whenever someone would be like, shut up or like, stop talking, that right there is kind of what did it for me and starts to make me feel disconnected with others because it's like to get along with others, you have to communicate. You have to talk. You have to get to know these people. But you start to think you're annoying and you start to think you're talking too much because of your past and people constantly telling you that you talk too much or get to the point, Kiera, or okay, well then well that would really happen. Like, you know, like definitely that. Feeling disconnected with myself is when I'm going through something and I start to forget who I am. I've been through a lot of financial struggles more often than I'd like to admit. And I'd have to say, forgetting that at the end of the day, that I know that I can take care of myself. I know what I have to do. It's just wanting to have the motivation and the drive to do what you need to do. And that's when I start to feel disconnected from myself because I'm someone that's always moving. I can't sit down. I always have to be doing something. Like, it's not like, oh, I always got to be doing something like, oh, I need to watch a YouTube video. Like, I always need to do something productive that I know is going to help benefit me in the long run. So if I can't do that for myself, that means my whole equilibrium, my whole body is just out of whack because I'm not doing what I'm normally used to make myself better. But that's my answer for that one.
That's good. That's really good. I like that.
Thank you.
Um, okay. Can you reword the question again? Sorry.
Yes. The
I'm
question is sorry, when do I feel most disconnected from myself or others?
trying to think into this one.
It's a pretty deep one, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Because you have to think about it on the spectrum of you and other people. So you gotta kind of think about it.
Yeah, that's I'm like, and I also like tend to disassociate a lot because of all the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So being disconnected and disassociating, there are two different things, but it's also very similar. So it's like a lot of my life, I kind of black out or black out, and like to this day, I get like glimpses and memories of some things that I've been through, but like I don't remember all of my childhood, like from ages, you know? It's really hard for me to put an age on what I've been through.
Yeah. But you
So
remember
it's
the
like,
event, you just can't remember like the age. I get that.
exactly. So it's like I kind of felt disconnected like my whole life until just recently when I've been trying to find myself.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, honestly, which is sad, but like,
It's not sad actually, because when you just said finding yourself, that's something that my mom used to tell me all the time. She's like, "You don't know who you are yet. You don't know what you want. You don't know this, you don't know that." And I'm like, "I do know who I am. I know that I like this and I like that." She's like, "No, Kira, for you." And I was like, "What?" Because I think us for in general, because I can kind of get a feel for you as well. You're very caring and you care about others. I can see that. And I think because we're that way, we also tend to expect our kindness and gratitude out of other people. And that it just, oh God. Either way, but I just want to say it's not bad being on your journey of finding yourself, because it took me a very long time to find myself, because I'm still doing it at the age of 22. And I
yeah,
remember being told that at the age of 18. And what I can tell you about finding yourself is it's always going to change, because you're going to find different things that you like. You're going to find different things you don't like. You're going to find hobbies that you really, really enjoy. And you're going to find hobbies that you're like, I used to do that, but that's not me anymore. Like finding yourself never actually ends. It's never completed, because
exactly. And that's
everything's
why,
always
as
changing.
long as you hop on that journey, I feel like
Yes.
you're on the right path, you know?
Literally. Yes. And I think more so finding yourself is starting to realize your trauma, realize your triggers, realize what bothers you, and then trying to do ways to make it better and avoid it so you don't have to go through that again. Because say, but it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like without life lessons, you just you're
It's
just
because
empty.
people
You're
aren't
empty.
taught. It's
Yeah.
because people aren't taught what is actually going on in the world, too.
Yes.
Like, if
I
you
mean,
get that
and
picture
even
perfect life,
right. And even if you didn't go through a hardship, but you say, because people could contradict us and say, "Oh, well, I seen on the news. I know what's going on." But you didn't experience it to feel where these people are coming from. You didn't have the hardship to understand where these people are coming from that are in these situations.
like,
Because
the
people will
news
also tell
stuff.
me, they'll always say homeless people can go get a job. They're standing on the corner to make money. If getting a job was that easy, I would have a work from home job right now, working and making $32 an hour. If getting a job was that easy. But it's not. The job market is horrible. I mean, you can't even walk into McDonald's and have an interview or fill out an application because they're like, "Oh, well, you need to have these qualifications, this qualification, this qualification." McDonald's is an entry level job. What do you mean? And some of these entry level jobs, you have to have a degree now. So if the job market was so easy to get a job, everybody could eat, everybody would have a house, everybody would be successful. But that's, sorry, political and government stuff is for a different day. But the point is, I
That
hate when people say homeless people are not trying and they can just go get a job. It's not that fucking easy. Are you going to take them to Goodwill or somewhere to go buy them a suit and drive them to their interview? No. Are you going to make them a resume so they can get that job? No. So then leave these homeless people alone if you don't have pure intentions and you don't want to help them. I just can't stomach that. I hate when people tell me that. It just fuels something in me. I
it
don't
was
know.
okay. Get it out. Get it
Because
out.
like it
I
just pisses
listen.
me off, because it's just like, why are you such a cruel human that you can look at somebody who is in misery, who has a sign that says anything helps? Some of these people even say they will work for the money. Like there are guys standing saying that I have construction experience, I was a vet. Like they're asking to work for the money because they
Mm-hmm.
can't get a job, because it's fucking hard. Like people are just assholes. I'm sorry. That one's hitting deep for me. Like people
No,
are
they
assholes,
don't.
and they just treat people so bad. And it makes me want to cry, and it makes me get so irate, because it's like, Jesus, like if everybody was just nice to each other, if everybody was just more understanding, and everybody came together to actually help one another, we could be unstoppable in this shit. There would be no struggle. I mean, we could grow our own fruits, our own crops, our own food, and live off of the livestock and be successful. There would be no struggle if everybody could just understand that we are all equal, different in our own ways, but equal, because everybody has a different skill and talent, that to the point of we would never fail. I'm so much of a nerd that I could literally build TVs. I could build entertainment systems for people if we already had a freaking community to come together? There are guys with construction experience that could build these houses for homeless people. There are people who have resources of government, almost high enough officials to help people get food stamps. Like, you have so much knowledge that if we helped each other, there would be no recession. There would be no poor. There would be no poverty. There would be no high class. There'd be no middle class. Like, we would all be equal. But the problem is nobody likes to be equal. Somebody always feels like they have to be better than somebody. Sorry. That
Preach.
just pissed me off. I hate people. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't hate people, but I hate those kinds of people. There we go.
Well, the world does suck. Like,
it just makes me so angry. It makes me not even want to leave the house sometimes because it's just the principle. I hate seeing how sad the world is. It's like I can't go outside and be like, it's a beautiful day, because no, it's not. It's just sunny. There's still hardship. There's still shit going on. Like, I just can't. I can't. Like, I don't know. And that's why I feel like if you don't have pain, long story short, then you can't connect with anything in the world. You just can't. If you never experienced anything, you can't possibly. If your friend tells you that their grandma passed away and you're like, oh, well, my grandma's 102 years old. She's never passed away, but I'm sorry for your loss. You are still a fucked up person at the end of the day, because you can't connect with their feelings, and you're not even trying to connect with them and have any remorse or sympathy for what they're going through, because you have this picture perfect life and you've never been through anything.
and I got told this one time, if you've never been through those bad moments, then those good moments wouldn't be as good.
I am going to go ahead and get this edited. Thank you for, even though this was last minute as hell, hopping on here with me today.
I told you I'm great.
I know, and you are just such a sweet person. I mean, I hope after this we're able, still stay connected and be friends or anything like that. I know our time zones are horrible, but you're a really great person. And just from someone who's on the other side of the world, literally, because I'm in Tennessee, you are so strong. And I know I don't know you, but you're so strong and you're so kind, and you seem like you have such the purest intentions and such a bright light in you. And I just hope that it keeps thriving in you. I really do. I'm about to cry saying this, because life's hard. I know you've been through some shit, some really fucked up shit. And
you're gonna make me cry.
Don't cry, but I know you've been through some really fucked up shit. And please continue to be the amazing person that you are. You are so sweet. You are so kind and so understanding, that I hope that nobody ever breaks that light in you that you have left, because that light that you have is going to change lives. It's going to change people, because it's hard being a good person in this world. I'm telling you, I'm crying as I'm telling you. It is so hard being a nice person in a fucked up world. But you have so much positivity in your heart that I hope you keep it.
I love you, girl.
Not the filter trying to give me makeup and shit. What the fuck? Okay.